Well, hello there, my friends. This is Monday Fire episode number 100. Can you believe it? I've been doing 100 of these. In addition to the regular podcasts, these are just quick, thoughts, nuggets, that sort of thing. And 100, I'm so excited to be at 100. That's amazing. What started out as just like a little test, just to see if you guys enjoyed, you know, just a real short 10-minute video, if you're watching on YouTube right now, or a podcast on Monday mornings, has turned into 100 episodes. So you just never know where things are going to start and where they're going to eventually end up. So that's a word for someone this morning. But listen, as you may recall, Jason and I just got back recently from Cabo San Lucus in Mexico. We were there with John and Lisa Bevere. And there were 16 entrepreneur couples there. The Beveres were loving on us and just really pouring into our marriages, which was amazing. But it's interesting. I'm still like pondering. Do you ever just like have such an experience with something that was just so good that you're still pondering about it like weeks later? And that's kind of where I'm at with having gone to Cabo, simply because from beginning to end, Thursday when we left in the morning to Sunday night when we came home, there was so much excellence that was demonstrated in those 4 days. And, I'm somebody that likes to think that myself and our team, that we lead with excellence, that Jason and I try to, lead with excellence when we've had guests to our home and work events here, and we've put on conferences and all those things. But this was like some kind of next level. And it was just so good, you guys. And I keep thinking about like that Bible scripture that talks about, whatever you do it with all your heart as working for the Lord and not for mere man. And how excellence matters to God, and just how taken care of we felt and loved on. And my thinking in doing this quick podcast for you was just to kind of tell you some of the things that, as somebody that tries to, lead with excellence, like, man, I learned a whole lot in this short weekend. And I thought I would pass some of these things on to you, because some of you are going to be hopefully having a face-to-face event this year. Some of you are going to be hosting something at your church. You're going to be doing a weekend out of town. Maybe you're going to be doing a mastermind. Maybe you're going to be in my mastermind. Who knows? Cat may have just slipped out of the bag there. And so I wanted to give you just some real like concrete ways that excellence was just absolutely demonstrated, because I think some of these are really good ideas for you to take back to your team or your planning people, or you and your spouse who are about to sit down and try to figure out, something you're about to host, because there was excellence just all over the place. Okay. So let me give you just some real quick things. Yes, the resort was beautiful. Yes, Cabo San Lucas, gorgeous. But there was more than just that. It was the attention to the little detail that I noticed. Okay. Things like over communication via email with their team before we ever got to, even the resort, before we even got to Mexico. Especially right now, over communication about all things COVID related was super appreciated. Because, when you're traveling internationally right now, there's just lots of question marks, lots of like, I had some worries and some fears, about the test in particular. And so the Bevere team was just really, really great at really making sure there was over communication, and we kind of knew all, of what to expect. So it just kind of put us at ease from the very beginning. And how many of you know that when you're like at ease from the beginning, it just makes you so much more able to appreciate the entire experience. Okay. So over communication was fabulous. Then while we were there, I felt like they did such a great job of just really appealing to all the senses, to our sense of like touch. Even from like when we first got to the rooms, for instance, there was like a board with breads and olives and things that were specific to the different regions that we were, staying near. There was cheese. There was a handwritten note from John and Lisa, like waiting in our room when we got there. And so any of you who have ever traveled, I mean, that, after a long day of traveling, like you're tired and a lot of times you're famished. In my case, I get hangry. So it was just really nice to like instantly have some of our senses kind of, met right away, that sense of touch and sight. And of course, there's the whole hearing sense, you're right there on the ocean, different smells, like they addressed all of it. So we had a board in our room when we were waiting for us, which was fabulous. We were also communicated with right after getting there, from Lisa and John themselves. So I got a text from Lisa, Jason got a text from John, just saying they hoped our travels was really good. They looked forward to seeing us that night. And that's a really nice gesture. Can I tell you why? Because it felt like access. Now, I know that that may sound like weird, but let me just tell you that I have been to countless events, small events and large events, where I have not had access to the people that were hosting it. So instantly, what that access does to somebody on this end of it is it makes you go, oh my gosh, that they would take out the time, and do that from their actual phone number. Now, of course, it could have been maybe an assistant from Lisa's phone or from John's phone, but we texted them enough to know like those were their actual phone numbers. Do you know what I mean? And so what it did is it set the stage for like, wow, I feel like I can't believe they trusted us with their actual phone numbers. Like this is Lisa and John Bevere, guys. You know what I'm saying? And so instantly it set the tone for feeling like an intimate relationship right off the bat. I hope that that makes sense. Like access matters. I've had some coaches where there was not a lot of access, quite frankly, and that has a tendency to feel a little bit sterile. And it has a tendency to feel sometimes a little bit cold. And this was the opposite of that. So I love that we heard from them like right away. When we, had dinner the first night, there was like a meet and greet almost right at the beginning. Now they didn't call it that, but they were there, hugs, handshakes. So it wasn't just like, we saw them across a table and, hope that I eventually get some time alone with them. Nope. Right from the get-go, there were hugs, there were all the things, which again, just made you feel seen. And especially this year, in the last 14 months with COVID, people feel we're lonely. And that human connection and that touch and that eye-to-eye contact has really been lacking. Man, I'm telling you what, if you're going to have an event this year, like lean into that. Lean into the just making it intimate. So we had a dinner then the first night and they did have like arranged seating. Wait, that sounds weird. It sounds like an arranged marriage. Assigned seating. There you go. Not arranged seating. They had assigned seats, which was really nice because every time we had dinner together, which was every night, they switched, who you were sitting next to, which forced you to get to know more people than just the people that you perhaps came there with. We came with Carrie and Ricardo Rabina, and Brian and Julie Dixon, who are all friends of ours. And so, but this forced us to get out of habit, right? Because sometimes, you flock to the same people, the same seats, and just meet new people. I'm so glad we met this couple the first night. Julie is her name. And as God would have it, Jason and I, we're trying to buy a second home in Florida right now. And they actually own real estate in Florida. And so that was fabulous just to get to talk to them. And so it was really great just to have, we were like pushed out of our comfort zone almost by just having to, chat with new people. Fabulous. Just absolutely fabulous. The food was just next level. I mean, let's just say it was next level. And one of the things I really appreciated is their attention to like the health component of the food. I'm getting ready to turn 50 and I just can't eat pastries like I used to. I wish that I could. I just can't do her. My body craves greens drinks and healthy drinks like that. They had those every morning for us. So I love that there was special attention to the fact that a lot of us that were there were entrepreneurs. A lot of times I've noticed when you're dealing with entrepreneurs, sometimes the more higher level entrepreneur that you are kind of dealing with, you will notice that they pay a lot more attention to what they put into their bodies. And so it's highly appreciated that we were given a lot of really, really healthy options. Every morning that we were there, they had asked us prior to even coming to Mexico what like our favorite morning drinks were, how we took our coffee. They literally brought coffee in with our names on it. Now they weren't Starbucks, but it was whatever with like our special coffee order. Now for me, I just drink black. So, but still, it just felt really nice to be in the middle of like a marriage seminar and to have somebody come up and hand me a coffee with my name on it. Again, just that attention to detail, that attention to just making you feel seen and heard and valued and loved. Man, you can't put a dollar sign on that. I'm trying to think of some of the other things. We had gifts at the end. They gave fabulous gifts, in fact, which, it doesn't really matter what the gift was, but let me tell you anyway. Okay, so they gave because it was a marriage weekend and we were really focusing on legacy and how we're going to leave, what we're going to leave on this side of heaven for our family and for the world when we're long gone. They gave albums and Polaroid cameras, not Polaroids, but the ones that our teenagers have where the little pictures come out the front, so cool, right? And so they gave that, they gave books. I mean, every detail was just really paid attention to. And it was a good learning experience for me, friends, because a lot of times I think we start looking at the budget for things. And I think we start weighing the cost. And I can tell you that the cost that was spent on this event, I think that if I was to be a betting girl, my guess is that the Beveres were thinking that this was a good investment just into people. And I just appreciated it at such a deep, deep level, especially having been on the other side a lot of times and trying to plan an event for people at work. This was something else. This was next level attention to detail. This was next level excellence. And I left there thinking, man, I want to do better in this area. Even if I'm not having, an event, I just want to do better at connecting with people on a more human level of just making them feel seen and heard, even if it's just through my Instagram DMs. Because everybody enjoys that, right? And just to feel that loved from people that we didn't previously know, there's a deep, deep lesson in there. And from the bottom of my heart, Jason and I are just so ridiculously grateful. So I just wanted to share that with you in the event that you are thinking about hosting your first event this year, in the event that you're thinking of putting together a small group for your church. You're going to have a Bible study at your house. That kind of investment into how you make people feel, I just don't know that can ever return void, honestly. And so, that Bible scripture, whatever you do it with all your heart as working for the Lord and not for mere man. I love that. And I keep pondering about it and just the level of excellence that they demonstrated and how I want to aspire to do that same thing. So I hope that this was helpful. If it was, would you do me a solid and just do a post or something on Instagram, my Instagram story, and just tag me on it. And if you want, tag Lisa and John Bevere too. It's that kind of leading that we really need to see. Do you know what I mean? It's it was a great example of what leading with excellence looks like and how to make people feel. And I appreciate it so, so much. So I hope that this was super valuable for you. And if you're going to be meeting in person this year, that you'll take some of those thoughts or ideas on just how to love on your people at a deeper, more intense way. Listen, right now, I think some of the businesses that you're going to see win in the months and years to come are going to be the ones that don't just look at people as a transaction, as clients as a transaction, but as people and clients as an investment, as an opportunity, as a gift. And because just transaction for the sake of transaction, after a weekend like that just would feel gross. Does that make sense? And I know it was a smaller, more intimate setting when you have 16 couples. It's very different than a room full of hundreds of people. But still, think of some different ways where you can really make people feel valued and seen and heard and loved and appreciated. Yes, even in 2021. Yes, even more so in 2021. So I hope that this was enjoyable for you. It was fun for me to kind of reminisce. Bless you guys. I'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.